She's mentally retarded. Always has been. That sentence didn't just land on the dinner table, it slammed into my chest and stole the air from the room. I watched my 10-year-old daughter, Lily, shrink into her chair, shoulders curling inward like she wanted to disappear. Her fork stopped halfway to her mouth. No one corrected my sister. No one even flinched. Plates clinked. Wine poured. Silence did the rest. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Carter, I'm 34 years old, and that night, at what was supposed to be a quiet family dinner, I realized humiliation doesn't always scream. Sometimes it smiles and passes the potatoes. My sister rolled her eyes like she delivered a punchline. I felt my hands tremble, but I didn't speak. I was raised not to cause scenes. To swallow pain. To keep peace, even if it meant my child learned that cruelty goes unchecked. Then my grandmother set her napkin down. Slowly. Deliberately. She looked at my sister and asked, calmly, almost gently. Behind, compared to whom? The room shifted. My sister smirked, confident, careless. That smirk told me she thought this was still her stage. Grandma didn't raise her voice. She didn't accuse. She simply continued. Because she's 2 years ahead in school, and the $36.21 I've put in my will. The smirk vanished. And in that exact moment, I wondered, how long had my family underestimated not just my daughter, but the woman who raised her? You could actually hear the silence crack. My sister's smile didn't just fade, it collapsed. Her husband stopped chewing. My father cleared his throat like that could erase what had just been said. And my daughter, Lily, looked up at me with wide eyes, confused, still hurt, still small. No one asked Grandma to explain. That was the first thing I noticed. Because explanations invite truths, and my family had spent years avoiding those. Grandma picked up her glass and took a slow sip, unbothered. The amount, she added softly, is symbolic. I like odd numbers. Keeps people curious. My sister laughed too loudly. Mom, you're joking. $36? Grandma tilted her head. Oh no. That's just your portion. Something in my sister's posture shifted. She sat up straighter. Defensive. Calculating. She glanced at her husband, then at me, for the first time that night like I wasn't furniture. I felt Lily's fingers slide into my palm under the table. They were cold. I squeezed back, grounding both of us. Hi, my name is Emily Carter, I'm 34, and I'd spent my entire adult life being treated like the family's afterthought, the single mom, the sensitive one, the one who should be grateful just to be invited. Grandma wasn't finished. She's ahead in school, she said, nodding toward Lily, because someone reads with her every night. Someone shows up. Her eyes met mine. And that's when I asked myself, when did survival quietly turn into power? The room didn't recover. It tilted. My sister opened her mouth, then closed it again. Her eyes flicked toward Grandma's purse, sitting neatly by her chair, like it might explode if looked at too long. My dad tried to laugh it off. Mom, let's not make this dramatic. Grandma smiled. Drama requires fiction. That's when my sister snapped. So what, you're saying she deserves more than us? She jabbed a finger in my direction, careful not to touch me, like I was contagious. Grandma's voice stayed calm. I'm saying effort compounds. Neglect doesn't. I felt years rush back, every holiday where Lily and I were assigned the kids' table, every comment about my choices, every time my sister borrowed money and called it family support while judging my life in the same breath. Hi, I'm Emily Carter, 34, and in that moment, I realized my family had confused my silence for weakness. Grandma reached into her purse and placed a thin folder on the table. Not opened. Just placed. My sister's husband leaned forward, squinting. What's that? Grandma tapped it once. Accounting. The word landed heavy. My sister swallowed. She knew that word. She used it when she wanted to scare people into backing off. Lily tugged my sleeve. Mom, are we in trouble? She whispered. I shook my head. No, sweetheart. But inside, I wondered, how do you protect a child without burning the house down? Grandma didn't open the folder. That was the cruelty of it. She let it sit there, closed, like a loaded truth no one was brave enough to touch. My sister shifted in her chair. This is ridiculous, she said, too fast. You're embarrassing yourself, Mom. Grandma finally looked at her. No, she replied evenly. I'm correcting a pattern. Dad stood up, pacing. Can we please not do this at dinner? Grandma nodded. We already did it to her for 10 years. She gestured toward Lily. Then to me. I felt something unfamiliar in my chest, not anger. Relief. Like someone had finally said the quiet part out loud. Hi, my name is Emily Carter, I'm 34, and my family had always survived by making me the problem so they never had to look at themselves. My sister's husband leaned closer to the folder. What kind of accounting? Grandma answered without hesitation. Every transfer. Every check. Every loan that was never repaid. Silence again, but this one trembled. My sister laughed, sharp and brittle. You're bluffing. Grandma's smile didn't reach her eyes. I don't bluff with paperwork. Then she turned to me. I kept everything, she said softly. Just like you did. That's when I understood, this wasn't about inheritance. It was about receipts. And I asked myself, what happens when the family scapegoat becomes the record keeper? My sister stood so fast her chair scraped the floor. This is harassment, she said. You can't just ambush us with fake numbers. Grandma finally opened the folder. Just enough for the top page to show. Dates. Amounts. Names. My sister's husband went pale. He reached for his phone, then stopped, like he'd remembered too late that lawyers don't panic unless there's something real to panic about. Dad leaned over, squinting. That can't be right. Grandma nodded. It is. I verified it twice. I watched my sister's confidence unravel in small pieces. Her voice dropped. Why are you doing this now? Grandma answered, because she stopped apologizing for existing. I felt Lily press against my side. Protective. Fierce. Hi, my name is Emily Carter, I'm 34, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't trying to make this easier for anyone else. My sister's husband cleared his throat. If these numbers are accurate, he said carefully, there are tax implications. Grandma smiled. And estate ones. That's when my sister looked at me, not with pity or contempt, but fear. You knew? She asked. I met her gaze. I kept receipts. The table felt smaller. The air heavier. And I wondered, when the truth finally shows up, who actually survives it? Silence swallowed the table. Not the awkward kind, the dangerous kind where everyone is doing math in their head. My sister's husband was the first to speak. We should probably talk about this privately. Grandma didn't even look at him. No. This conversation belongs right here. Dad's voice shook. Emily, why didn't you ever say anything? I laughed once. Short. Sharp. You never asked. You just assumed I owed you. My sister slammed her palm on the table. You're twisting things. You always play the victim. Grandma finally looked up. Her eyes were calm, almost tired. No, she said. She survived you. I felt something loosen in my chest. Hi, my name is Emily Carter, I'm 34, and I realized in that moment that silence had been the family's favorite weapon, until it stopped working. Grandma slid the folder forward. If you'd like to contest this, you can. The lawyer will explain the consequences. My sister's husband swallowed. Hard. Contest, what exactly? The redistribution, Grandma replied. And the reimbursement. Mom whispered, reimbursement. Yes, Grandma said. Every dollar Emily covered that wasn't repaid. With interest. My sister's face went red. You can't do this. Grandma's voice didn't rise. I already did. I felt Lily's fingers laced through mine under the table. Steady. Grounded. And I asked myself, why does setting boundaries feel cruel only to people who benefit from you having none? By the next morning, the ripple from dinner hadn't settled, it had exploded. Texts, calls, and emails poured in. My sister tried to charm. My father tried to reason. My mother tried guilt. None worked. They underestimated one thing. I had prepared for this moment for years. Every receipt, every note, every past favor was now a weapon, not of anger, but of truth. Hi, my name is Emily Carter, I'm 34, and for once, I was no longer reacting. I was orchestrating. I sat down at my desk, opened the folder again, and reviewed it meticulously. Every entry connected. Every discrepancy highlighted. My daughter Lily peeked over my shoulder, wide-eyed. Mom, are they really going to listen? I smiled. They have no choice now, sweetheart. By afternoon, my sister's husband called the mediator. Panic threaded his voice. Emily, maybe we can settle. I stayed calm. Settlement only works if accountability is involved. My family had spent decades trying to control the narrative. Now, I controlled it. Quietly, firmly, and irreversibly. I sent the folder to the mediator, and for the first time, I realized something. Revenge isn't about destruction. It's about restoring balance. Audience question: if someone repeatedly underestimates you, would you expose everything at once, or wait until every move is perfectly calculated? A week later, the resolution landed like a hammer. The mediator confirmed everything. My receipts, timelines, and evidence were indisputable. My sister's smirk? Gone. Her husband's confidence? Shattered. My parents' polite emails of apology? Minimal, devoid of real accountability. But that didn't matter. I had set boundaries. I had restored fairness. Hi, my name is Emily Carter, I'm 34, and that Thanksgiving, I didn't just defend my daughter, I defended our dignity. I used a portion of the recovered funds to create a small scholarship for students excelling despite adversity. Lily smiled as we printed the first letters to recipients. Not revenge. Legacy. Justice. Recognition. Family dinners would never be the same. My parents sold the old house, downsized, and learned, without cruelty, that manipulation carries consequences. My sister learned that underestimation has limits. And I? I learned that patience, preparation, and clarity can be stronger than anger. I looked at Lily that evening, safe, proud, and unbroken. That's when I asked myself, and you, watching, if someone you love is humiliated by those who should protect them, do you fight strategically, or let it slide and hope nothing breaks?